Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Coffee and Lore. I am so excited to be here with you guys on this rainy morning, and you're probably like, what? Another Lauren video? Yes, because this week I have been reading like crazy. I read 3 books this week, you guys. So you may see a couple of videos with me with the same dress on, and that's going to be okay because I got a lot of books to review this week. The Animal Crossing mug I have here was a Christmas gift from my little brother, and I wanted to give him a shout out because it's super cute. So thanks, Jacob. I love Animal Crossing. It is like another one of my favorite things. If I'm not reading, I'm probably playing Animal Crossing. But if you're not familiar with what Animal Crossing is, it's like this it's a video game essentially, and we got Nintendo Switches back when this pandemic started, and I became quite literally obsessed and have like 700 hours in Animal Crossing. But nonetheless, now that you know who the cute characters are on my cup, in case you didn't, what did I read this week? I know you guys are biting at the bit to know what 3 books were so good. I had to review all 3 of them because it's rare for me to have a week where I read 3 books where each one is so good, each one needs its own video. Well, the first one I'm going to talk about, I'm doing these chronologically as I read them, not necessarily like my favorite to least favorite or least favorite to favorite, but chronologically as I read them, going Monday through Friday. The first book that I read that was just really, really good, and it was recommended by my husband of all people, and I was really surprised at that because it's a kind of a chick book, but apparently he had stumbled across it and read it himself, is the Morganville Vampires by Rachel Caine, her first one in that series, which is called The Glass Houses. I want to make sure I gave you that name correct. Yeah, Rachel Caine. I knew it was something Caine. Rachel Caine, The Morganville Vampires, the first book, Glass Houses. Fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Like, it's a light kind of foo-foo read. I mean, it's not going to change you as a person. When I say it's a light kind of foo-foo read, I mean, it's not a Jodi Picoult or a The Nightingale that's going to change you at your core and make you feel differently about things. It's essentially very similar to, if you were a fan of the Twilight books, I would compare it. I liked the books. The Twilight books were really good. I remember reading them probably, oh gracious, easily 12 to 13 years ago, because it was pre-Sophia. And that's what I judge things on. It's, as a mom, it's funny. I judge things on post-Sophia and pre-Sophia, and it gives me a time frame to know about how long ago something was. But yeah, the Morganville Vampires, really enjoyed it. It, centers around this girl who goes to college at this really small town in Texas. She gets bullied really bad, so she has to move into this house with these 3 other characters, Eve, Shane, and Michael. And a lot of things happen, and obviously, because it's called Morganville Vampires, there's vampires in this town, and they kind of run things. And the 4 that live in the glass house are up against them, you know. They have to take on a lot of the vampires and a lot of that society. But it's a really sweet book from like a 17, well, almost. She says a lot of times she's almost 17. She got to go to college early because she's extremely intelligent. But so from an almost 17-year-old girl's perspective, of just kind of having her mind blown that there's vampires, they exist, they're in this city. And it was just really, really good. I liked the way that they portrayed the vampires. I liked the fact that, they showed a lot of social interaction for awkward 17, 18, 19-year-old, early college-aged kids, as well as, like, it showed this girl as the hero of the story. It wasn't one of the boys. Well, I mean, one of the boys kind of saved the day at the end, but the main heroine of the story was definitely somebody who played a huge part in the saving of this story. Sorry, I thought I heard my biggest dog and got distracted. If you do see any of my 3 dogs running around here, it's raining outside, like I told you. So they're in the house when they would normally be outside of the house right now. But nobody likes a wet dog, so they're not going outside. But on that note, Morganville Vampires, the first book by Rachel Caine, really liked it. If you like the Twilight series, and I hate to compare it, Vampire Diaries, any of that like real easygoing vampire stuff, not like an Anne Rice, but a little bit more relaxed and I don't want to use the word fluffy. I'm racking my thesaurus for a word other than fluffy. But just, we'll call it vampire light. There's a good one. If you like vampire light, I recommend the Morganville Vampire books. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Read it in about 2 days. That one was a 2-day book. I think I had a lot going on that day, but I hope you guys pick it up and read it. What are you guys reading this week?